even if we tell below 70 are dull, among that category also there are three divisions. One is morons and imbeciles. Morons are 50 to 70 and imbeciles are 25 to 50, and below 25 are idiots. Idiots means pambaraviti, but so very careful, don't call anybody idiot. Okay, idiots are very rare. So somebody will have some kind of intelligence or they have some kind of capabilities. So that is why we are telling people with some defects, we are not telling them as they have some defect, we are telling them as differentially abled. So they have some different they are excel in some other different areas of their own interest. So so that is one of the purpose. We are in curriculum we are telling that inclusive education. So you might have heard during B.Ed, what is inclusive education? Inclusive education means all differentially able people are or also eligible to enter in normal schools. So what is the need of inclusive education? Why we are not preferring to send in special schools? Why? So for one of the ICSE training program that we have completed 1 or 2 years back. So in that, so what is I don't remember that Nishta. So in that one of the classes was that a need for inclusive education. So in that they are very clearly telling that after this education, the children, those who are entered in special schools are also coming to the society where all other people with the different abilities. So they have to survive. So if they are in differentially abled or special schools, that means they are seeing only that kind of people. So if they are with us, they can also learn how other people are doing and they can learn a lot of things from us also. So that is a need of inclusive education. So now we are dealing with intelligence, and next the measure of intelligence is IQ, that is intelligent quotient. So now we will move to next topic, emotional intelligence. Actually, experts says that emotional intelligence plays a vital role to succeed a successful life than intelligence, normal intelligence. Because in professions and all, when they are doing interview to select candidates, they will prefer those who have more emotional intelligence for their positions, because those who have emotional intelligence can lead a team very effectively, can keep proper or a good interpersonal relations with other people, and they can make more success in their career, and it will lead to the success of their whatever their company or whatever their institution, and so and so. So that is emotional intelligence is very important for a human being. So what is emotional intelligence? What do you understand by emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence is the ability to perceive things and or perceive our own feelings and others' feelings, understand others' feelings and act accordingly. So we should aware of our own feelings, we should understand others' feelings, and we should act accordingly. And there are 4 components for emotional intelligence. Hope you got some idea about individual difference and intelligence. So next is emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence. There are 4 components for emotional intelligence. One is self-awareness. Second one, self-regulation or self-control. empathy, social skills. So self-awareness, as the word implies, we should aware of our own feelings. We should analyze ourselves, what is our feelings. We should be very thorough about our feelings. Somebody will tell that I am like this and some others has to adjust with me. It's not like that. So we should aware what is our positive part and what is our negative part, and we should have the mind, or we should have that mind to rectify those things. Anyway, we all are social beings, or we should cope with the society, and we are all are in a team always. Very less people are doing their own work alone, but majority of the people are in dealing with some or the other team, or we are a part of society. So we should have that self awareness, and we should aware of our own feelings, and self regulation, that is very closely related to self awareness. So those who have the self awareness should know how to control our feelings. And next is self motivation. If you have some negative parts, we should have that mind to rectify that, motivate ourselves and get up from that. Don't be set back in whatever is what is our negative side. If somebody is having the problem of getting angry immediately, that's very short tempered, they should know that I am short tempered, and when we are getting angry, we should immediately think that I have that problem and I should not respond now, so somehow I have to control. So expert says that there is a gap between stimulus and response. So we are getting a stimulus from outside to provoke our feelings, and there is a gap between that stimulus and when we are responding that. So that gap is for thinking. So that gap is for thinking. The people with high emotional intelligence have that they will create that thinking, that gap, and they will think, and then only they will act. So people with low emotional intelligence, without thinking, they will react. And that is an empathy. Empathy is a superior quality every human being should have. Empathy and sympathy is different. Empathy means we should stand on some other's shoe or some other's position and act. For example, very simple example I will tell you. When this flood on all these things are happening, we are seeing other people, they are living in water and they have a lot of trouble, and we are sitting safe. And when think if we were in that position, what would be our situation? So that is empathy. That's empathy. Sympathy means, oh, it's they are poor, they're very sad, so I'm also feeling sad. That is not sympathy. That is sympathy. Empathy means we should be stand in their position and take that feelings as ours. And social skills. Obviously, social skills, there are several things. What is coping skills, what is adjustments, and social skills means when you are in a team, you should have patience, you should have listening skills. Listening skill, one of the important social skill. When we are in a group, instead of taking our chance to talk every time, we should give some chance to others also talk, and listen to them what they are telling, and consider others feeling, consider others opinion, and so and so. So these are four components of emotional intelligence: self-awareness, self-regulation, self-motivation, empathy, and social skills. And exactly like intelligent quotient, we have emotional quotient also. Emotional quotient, EQ. Emotional quotient is a measure of emotional intelligence. That is also a measure of emotional intelligence. There are several tests you can find in online or somewhere to test your emotional intelligence, and that will give you emotional quotient. And there are some when you do that emotional test, when you are getting high emotional intelligence, don't be very much happy. There are some negatives of high emotional intelligence. That means when you criticize others, or when you tell something true about others that is may not be acceptable for them, you will feel uh, reluctant to express that. So you may feel bad to tell that. If, for example, I will tell you, if somebody has some bad quality or something, and I would like to tell them that you are like this and you are so and so, and I will have a guilty feeling to tell that you are like this, because that will hurt that person with high emotional intelligence. That is not, but we have that capability to tell you are like this. So having extreme high emotional quotient or emotional intelligence is not so good. That is a negative side of emotional intelligence. And also one more negative impact of emotional intelligence also is there. That is there can be as what is that, not prejudice. Even we know that it is not good. In order to keep our image or something, we will something like we will do some acting. So hiding the actual thing, there is a chance of hiding the thing. So those people with the high emotional intelligence, that is another a backside, or it is a negative side of high emotional intelligence. So now let us think about people, the signs of people with a low emotional intelligence. So nobody will have high emotional intelligence, and nobody may not have very poor emotional intelligence. So majority of the people will be in between those. So let us see one by one what are the signs of people with a low emotional intelligence. So need to be right. People with very low emotional intelligence will have a tendency to be right always. I am right. I am right in all the things. They will not accept criticism. They are reluctant to accept criticism. And also they will not, I can write point by point, need to be right. Low emotional intelligence. Signs of low emotional intelligence. One is need to be right. Always need to be right. Oblivious to others' feelings. Oblivious means neglecting or not considering others' feelings. Whatever they feel, the people with no very low emotional intelligence will not consider their feelings. So every time, and they want to whatever, and self-centered. They are always self-centered, oblivious to others' feeling. Oblivious to others' feelings. Self-centered, insensitivity, nirvigarada, insensitivity. They are insensitive. For example, and also they will talk insensitively, or without any meaning. They will talk without knowing the situation. For example, if you are attending a funeral, and if you are coming from that funeral, they will tell some nonsense jokes without understanding the situation, or it may be a tragic situation, and they will not realize, and they will be in their own world, and they are not realizing what other people's feelings, and they will tell some unwanted jokes, or just they will leave their own world. Blaming others. Blaming others. Blaming others. Blaming others. See, even if they have done something, they will not accept that they have done it. They will blame that for others. So for example, I will tell you, in class 7, one of the student, I told him to complete the notes, and he told me that on the previous day he was absent. So I told him to see your next student's book and mark it in your textbook and complete it on the next day and come. And the next day I asked, he is telling that the other fellow has not marked the answers in his book. I told that this is you are not supposed to tell that. It's your responsibility to mark the question answers from his notebook and mark it and complete the notes. So then we can realize that he is in order to escape from his own mistake, he is blaming him. So that is a clear evidence of it's a low emotional intelligence. Outburst. Outburst is one of the characteristics of people with a low emotional intelligence. Outburst. So you know very well what is outburst. And relationship struggles. Relationship struggles. Relationship struggles. Struggles. So they will find very difficult to maintain relationship with anyone. So you might have seen some people will be very close to someone for some time, and they will leave that friendship and they will go to the next, and they will be keep on they will not have any friend for a long time. They will keep on moving from one to another. So obviously we can make sure that he is having some emotional control problems or something like that. And these points are very clear. Hopefully it is very clear to you. Self-centered already I have written. So one point is I missed. Poor coping skills. That is something related to this poor coping skills. So coping skills means adjustment problem. We cannot adjust very easily with anyone. So poor coping skills. So these are some few points with those who have very low emotional intelligence. Signs of emotional intelligence. And what do you think? This emotional intelligence is an inherent ability, or it's a part of a person's character or a behavior, or whether it can be improved? What is your opinion? What is your opinion? It is up to certain extent, it is an inherent ability from birth, but we can improve our emotional intelligence by several methods. One is listening others. We should have the mind to listen others, and when you are in a group or when you are in a society, you should have the habit of listening others. Don't try to be always lead, and you should have the mind to listen, and you can talk when you get the chance to talk. There are some points to improve your emotional intelligence. And you should have the mind to accept criticism about you. And somebody criticize you, you should not think that he's thinking bad about me, and he or she is my enemy, and so and so. You should think whatever she told is correct about you or what, and you should analyze yourself. That is first one, self awareness and self regulation. These two things will come there. When somebody criticizes you, you should have that self awareness about you, whether they are telling is correct, and you should have, when they are telling, you should control your feelings, without making an outburst. And if it is correct, think and find out. If it is correct, motivate yourself and to change that. So ready to accept criticism and ready to accept mistakes, and not to be set back in mistakes. I had that mistake, let it be like that, so I will not do in future. It is not like that. So understand the mistake, realize the mistake, and try to be correct in the next time. So that is another way of realizing mistake and correcting the mistakes is one of the way to improve your emotional intelligence. And the ability to say no when it is required. When you should have that courage, or you should have that feeling to tell no whenever is required. That is also a way to improve your emotional intelligence. And if you have some problems in or some issues in our mind, you should share with someone. That is also a part of your high emotional intelligence. Keeping always everything inside the mind, that is not good. So every people will have somebody to share something, not to all. Those who understand yourself, and those who can those you can understand, and those you can console you, and those you can rectify that sadness in you. So you should open your mind to them, and that you should have that mind to share your feelings, not to all, so that the person who deserve that. So that is also another way of improving your emotional intelligence. And if you are in a trouble, you should have the capability to solve that trouble. So solving problems, that is one of the life skill, solving problems in critical situations. In when the capability of solving problem is one of the life skill, solving problems. So having great listening skills, that already I told you, and knowing why you are doing that things, why you are doing. So not doing something for the sake of something. So you should know for what you are doing that things. So you should be aware of the intention of the things what you are doing. And not being judgmental to others always. Don't judge others always. Before judging them, think about why they are doing, what is the purpose of doing. So these are some ways to improve your emotional intelligence. So just I will but brief all the things what we have started from the beginning. We have started with our class with individual differences. So individual difference is the unlikeness between two persons. That unlikeness can be due to the difference in their intelligence, their interest, their attitude, their aptitude, their creativity, and so many, and their appearance, their structure, and several things. That all will create an individual difference. And next we have discussed about intelligence, and how to measure intelligence, and the intelligent quotient is a measure of intelligence. And next we have discussed the topic emotional intelligence. And emotional intelligence is a capability of a person to understand his own feelings, and understand others' feelings, and act accordingly, and act in a good manner the society, or deal with the society or other people effectively. And there are several ways. Up to certain extent, emotional intelligence is an inherent, it's by birth, or some characters we will get, and we can improve our emotional intelligence by several ways. And then there are some signs of people with a very low emotional intelligence. And people with high emotional intelligence also have some drawbacks, and that also I mentioned, and I hope you understood. And I am very happy to see that nobody has slept in my class, and I have explained all these things within my span of knowledge. And for this class I referred a textbook in developmental psychology by Dr. N.K. Arjun, and hopefully this will be at least useful for you at some extent on some part of your life. And if it is useful for you, I will be very happy. And thank you for listening to me. Thank you.